Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Now today I'm doing a beer that I don't recall ever having. I've had other beers from this brewery, but I can't remember ever having this beer. And so this will be a new one for me, so I'm looking forward to this. And some people have told me that it's quite a nice one. And I forgot when I bought beers from this brewery, I actually got a glass. So I thought, I forgot about that. I paid for the glass, it wasn't a free thing. It came with one of the packs as part of it, and I forgot all about it, so I thought, why not? Give it a go. So, today we're doing Old Hooky Premium Ale. Now I've had Hooky before, I've had Hooky on cask, which was quite nice. Didn't really transfer particularly well in the bottle. The Hooky bitter wasn't that great. But the mild was actually quite nice. So it was. I'm sure you've already seen that video because you're all avid watchers, aren't you? No. I mean, I only watch because I have to. You know what I mean? Looks bad if I can't suffer it, you know what I mean? It's a struggle. Anyway, oh look, got a hair. So that's my arm. So, I saw that. Yanking my hair at my own arm. See, I've had a haircut. Seen that? Wife got a haircut. Looking a right dapper dad. I think I've already said that before anyway. But what I forgot to say is the wife doesn't do the eyebrows. She's not a particularly good barber. She doesn't do the eyebrows. But what she does is she clocks them and sees what length. So when she's cutting my hair, she's clocked to see what length they are. But she doesn't bother offering them. She leaves that to me. And where was it? We were down in Devon. Now what were we doing there? We were doing something. Where were we? Oh, we're in the queue. We're at Gloucester Services and we're in the queue to get some food. And I'm just kind of standing there and I've got stuff in my hands and things like that, you see. So then she kind of like, here's my chance. So she's like in there with both hands. Grabbed her pile of long hairs, my eyebrows, and went, fuck you. And I'm like, yeah. So yeah, so she doesn't like to cut them because she thinks, well, hopefully you'll forget about it and I'll get my opportunity to get in there and I'll rip them out with my hands. She's an evil bitch. Anyway. Oh, seriously. I'm surprised we don't have boxing matches, I really do. But yeah, so this is a 4.6%. It's a premium ale. It's fruity and full bodied. It's tawny red. And look, it's fruity and malty. And smell and taste is sweet. There you go. Anything in there. Old Hooky is beautifully balanced beer, fruity by nature and well-rounded body and suggestive echo of crystal malt. Try it as the accompaniment to meat dishes. Now stop that. Now if you've looked at my past videos, I've had some right good rants about basically, you know, pairing notes with beer. You want to do that with wine and any other, just stop it with beer. You know, I don't sit there and read the back and think, oh, you can have a stew tonight, hen, because this goes wonderful with a stew. Aye, because I've always wanted to look at it and think, oh, aye. I'll buy this because, hey, we're having fish tonight. Is there any beers that go well with fish? Or I'm reading the bottle thinking, we need to get some pork. I know it's raining, but can we have a barbecue tonight? Because this beer says it goes really well with barbecued pork. So we've got to have it because I want to drink it, you know. Get the arseholes. Can't be bothered with that nonsense. But like I said, it's 4.6%, it's 500ml, and I think it's running about the £3 mark. Although if you factor in the £14 delivery cost, then it's slightly more than fucking £3. Thieving buggers. Oh, it was a pregnancy warning. Oh my baby. Anyway, alcohol can cause lifelong harm to your baby. Especially if they're an adult in their 50s like me. Well, I was somebody's baby once. I'll be totally honest, I've actually got 3 older sisters. So this is what happened, is I got 3 older sisters, and the parents always wanted a boy, so they kept on going until they got me, you know. Once they reached perfection, they thought, that's it, no more kids, you know. They got what they wanted. My sisters say they got what they deserved, but I say that you can't improve on perfection, you know. They found their favourite. They got what they wanted. You know, and that's what they decided, we don't need any more kids now. The other 3, you know, daughters. 10 a penny, you know. But a good looking, but I'm talking about in the past, of course, maybe not so much now, but you know, a good looking male of the family to carry on the family name. Yeah. Anyway, both parents are dead now, so I'm sure they're relieved. So they are, you know, thinking, it's over, hen. That's it. We're out of here now. Retirement has really started. Don't have to look at them. Dear. I remember asking my dad, I says, Dad, out of the 3 daughters, which one's your favourite? And he's like, how much do you have to like them to actually, for them to kind of count as a favourite? I'm like, don't worry about it, Dad, don't worry. I know where you're coming from. You know, see me, you, we're from the same stock, you know. Although you drink tennis. Anyway. And my sisters always used to say, oh, you were Mum's favourite. And I'm thinking, of course I was. Who else would have been her favourite? Anyway, shall we get this board? I'm actually just doing this because sometimes my sisters watch the video, and I know that my oldest sister, her man, John, watches the videos. So he'll just wind it up if I do this. Just me causing trouble. Yeah, good looking and the thinnest of the siblings, the offspring. Oh, well, that's up the can of worms. There we go. There we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm actually looking forward to this, actually. Because a few of them basically says this was a really quite a nice beer, so I'm looking forward to it. I'll turn it around so you can actually see it from the advertisement of the. So it's a nice kind of chestnut colour. I'd say maybe a half finger head, but it's from a bottle, so what does it really mean? And yeah, it looks quite nice, very clear. Smell wise, what we get now? They said it was supposed to be fruity, was it? What were they saying? Smell fruity malt. Bit of a fruity, but anyway. Getting malt. Getting, I mean, not so much of the old fruitiness, but I blew my nose. So off camera, I'd like you know, make sure all the sinuses are cleared. And go, you know, I can still do that. I used to be able to suck one nostril in it. Yeah, I can still do it. That's my party trick. There you go. That's why the parents, they know they could basically leave this mortal coil, you know, satisfied, you know. Because the only achievement that boy could ever do was, you know, thinking, arsehole. Yeah, fair play. It's fair play. But yeah, I'm just getting kind of syrupy malt tones. Not really getting so much of the fruitiness. Right. So we see what it tastes like. Yeah. Right. It gives it more of a, it's only 4.6, but it gives a little bit more feeling of a stronger alcohol, because there's a bit of a richness there to it. It just kind of feels, it gives, the way the body works with the alcohol, it just kind of gives you that impression that it's slightly more alcoholic than what it really is. But yeah, a good level of flavour there. That's what it is. Some nice body, a little bit of richness there, and yeah, that's nice. That is nice. A lot nicer than Hooky, although I'll be say that Hooky was nice on the cask, it just didn't really work in the bottle, but it'll be interesting to see what this will be like in cask, because this is actually nice in the bottle, so it's a good thing if it's nice in the bottle, and just imagine what it's like, you know, nice fresh pint of it from a nice, well-conditioned cask. Well, in saying that, I've got a couple of things down there, kegs, 5 litre kegs, I was running that, so I need to get them fired in. That'll be enjoyable. But in saying that, I've got 7 bottles of blooming Chiswick's Bitter to get rid of, and ESB. Trying to think, is there any other beers I've got? I've got an IPA coming from Hook Norton. Oh, aye. Oh, the Hook Norton Brewery, I've got an IPA there as well. I've done the mild, which you've probably watched, hopefully. It was a lot nicer than the Hooky Bitter. So it was just, it wasn't a dark mild, it was kind of a lighter mild, but it was actually quite nice. This is actually quite nice. And there's a little bit of bitterness at the back end, which is quite nice. Not a bitter as in like a bitter, but there's just a little bit of bitterness there that just makes the kind of, and it lingers a bit as well, so it just kind of makes it a wee bit kind of more interesting. This would really be nice on cask, it really would. I mean, it's nice from a bottle, like I'm saying, but. And the problem is the way they describe it, this is tastes sweet. No, it's not that sweet. I mean, they're saying it's a kind of, obviously it's a fruity, full-bodied ale. If you actually read this label, it's giving you a false impression, because by going it's fruity and full-bodied, so you think it's going to be a richer, kind of tawny ale, with a lot of fruitiness in the mid-tongue, a large level of sweetness and everything else, and it's just going to be quite a rich ale. And it's not. Going by how it's described in the label, it's not. There's a nice bit of bitterness at the back end. There is a nice level of body, but I wouldn't say it's rich. I certainly wouldn't say it's sweet in any way, shape or form. And I wouldn't say it's that fruity either, to be totally honest. It's why is it when they turn around and call a bitter, it's never bitter, but then when they do any other type of bloody beer, you think, no, well, this is a heck of a lot more bitter than that I thought it was going to be. In fact, this is more bitter than a lot of bitters. What's going on in this world? This just tastes like a nice premium ale with a nice kind of bit of bitterness at the back end. And yeah, I like it. It ticks all the boxes, but it doesn't taste or smell or even really look how it's described, and you're thinking, are they daft? Is it me? Am I missing something? You're like, I wouldn't call that a red ale. I wouldn't even call that a tawny ale, really. It's more of a chestnut. You know? I like chestnut. Or a kind of darker amber, depending on what you want to call it. But in general, yeah, and maybe a little hint of fruit, a little hint of dried fruit in the smell, but you're not really getting it in the flavour. Sweet, it does not taste sweet. I mean, I'll be totally honest, by reading that might have actually put me off, because depending on what mood you're in, you know, if you're in a supermarket and you think, I'm going to get a couple of beers for tonight, what am I into? I want something a bit more kind of refreshing, a bit more, don't want anything kind of too heavy or sickening and that type of stuff. I don't want anything too rich. And you'll be reading this thinking, nah, not tonight. And like, and you put it back on the shelf. And the thing is, it tastes nothing like how it's described in the label, which is a good thing, because it tastes actually very, very nice, and the flavours that are there aren't what's described on the label, which makes it even more enjoyable. So why would they do that? Why would they say it's sweet when it's not sweet? I just don't understand that. I mean, as the person who wrote the label, have they ever tasted it? You know, you really do have to kind of question it. I'd like to, if only I could like just to go, here, try it yourself. It's not me being daft here, try it. If I could do that, I would. But all I would do is just ruin the camera. But yeah, just try to get that across, is that what's described and what it is two different things. It's almost as if they're describing a different beer. Which will be totally honest, I want to watch, because what they've described and what I've got, I actually prefer what I've got than what they've described. So there you go. But no, it's a nice beer, this. A festival pint, is it? Oh, there you go. Ah, wonderful. It says on it. But yeah, it's a nice beer, and there's a lot more to it. I just found that the Hooky bitter was lacking bitterness, lacking a bit of body, and just overall it just didn't really deliver, to be totally honest, whereas this one, there's a lot more to it. So there is. So shall we break down these flavours? Right. At front of the mouth, you get nice caramel and toffee tones in the malt, so you're getting that kind of edge to it. A little bit of sweetness, but I mean a little bit of sweetness. If you take the kind of caramel toffee tones, they're a lot stronger than the sweetness, so the sweetness isn't really kind of backing it up enough because it's lacking. But I'm not going to say that's a bad thing, because I think that the malt flavours are nice, but they're to a level that it doesn't really need the kind of sweetness to back it up. I think it's actually quite nicer because the sweetness isn't so much, and it isn't backing it up. I think it basically allows the malt to kind of stand a little bit more by itself, and it makes it nicer. You get a little bit of grain, moves on to the mid-tongue, and again it's mostly all about the malt. In the mid-tongue you're just getting these nice levels of malts, very light kind of subdued sweetness. Maybe getting some little accents of fruit, kind of light accents of dried fruit, but again it's very obscure. It's just giving you a kind of a fleeting kind of whiff, and nothing intensive enough or clear enough to even identify any fruits. It's just a suggestion, which is fine, because in the mid-tongue you're getting little kind of bitter accents, and it's got a nice kind of rounded body to it, that again, between that, the malt and the 4.6 alcohol content, which isn't a lot, let's be totally honest, but it just gives you that slight kind of impression that it's actually more alcoholic. It's got a higher alcohol content than it really has, just because the way the body works, the kind of malt tones and everything else, and it just feels that it's a kind of a richer beer than it really is. But there's still a nice kind of sessionability to it. It's not overly rich where it's like, oh, this is a sipper. No, it's not. But it just gives you that little kind of feeling of sensation. And then as it moves from the kind of the back of the mid-tongue, you just start getting these kind of bitter accents that are just kind of, they were slightly isolated in the kind of middle of the mid-tongue, start to kind of come together a little bit at the back of the mid-tongue. And as it starts to move over to the back of the mouth, you start getting that kind of, not a huge amount of bitterness, but a decent level of bitterness. And as the flavours kind of dissipate, they all kind of dissipate roughly at the same time, but the bitterness just slightly veers off. It kind of starts to kind of dissipate with every beer, but then it just slightly veers off a little bit. just kind of lingers a couple of moments longer than all the rest. So you get that kind of, the last flavour you have is that little kind of bitterness, and it's just quite nice, and it just makes the back end that little bit more interesting and the finish a bit more interesting, and overall it's actually very enjoyable. The good thing is I've got a few of them, so I've got, I'm looking at there, one, there's 3 I can see there, might even be more, so I'm quite happy. Although I will give some away to people that might be interested to try. Saves them having to pay the bloody £14 delivery costs. In fact, here's the thing, is if I put that beer in the back of my car and drove down to drop it off at my sister's for John to try, that's her man, by the way, you know. He's a big charity worker, so he likes to do for, you know, help the aged, and he's doing a lot with help the aged right now, because he's pumped my sister. Anyway, she'll kill me for that one. But anyway, I'm just trying to think how much would it cost me in fuel to go down to my sister to drop this beer off. And going by the mileage, it's about 300 miles. And I'm looking at it, what's a gallon right now? Gallon's maybe, what, 5-6 quid? Ooh. It'd be slightly over. I'd be closer to 20 quid. So I'm not that far away. Delivering that one bottle is actually just slightly more than the 14 quid that they charge me. You know what I mean? You sit there thinking, that's just dreadful. It really is. That's just absolutely, it's theft. It really is. It's just theft. It's extortion. There's no excuse for that. But of course, obviously, if I take other beers down there, then suddenly that cost gets spread out and it becomes cheaper and cheaper. And I will do, because I've got Chiswick Bitter I can take down to them as well. I've got ESB as a couple of Buckcombs I can take. There's a few I could take down there. And then suddenly that £20 just suddenly gets spread out and spread out and spread out as a delivery cost per bottle. You thieving buggers. You know, so yeah. It's a nice beer, but I think they have to, if they want to sell more of it and they want to kind of make it accessible, they kind of look at their business practices, and I know times are tough to a certain degree, but don't piss all over your customers, you know, because yeah, times may be tough for you, but it's also tough for them as well. So you've got to find that kind of balance, and that £14 delivery, you haven't found anywhere near a balanced kind of level. But yeah, so what would I give this out of 10? I like this. It's got a good traditional ale feel about it. And I like the body, I like the malt, I like the bitterness at the back end. Excuse me. And yeah, overall, it's up there. It's a good, honest, nice beer. Good kind of feel of quality ingredients and everything else. But it's nice enough and enjoyable enough that next time I'm back down in Devon, I've got to obviously go down past that way. So what I maybe do is look at round about any of the pubs round about Cheltenham or Gloucester that maybe sell old Hooky on cask, and maybe just pull in for one, you know, and enjoy it, because it's definitely a beer now that it's on my list that I want to try on cask, so I want to tick it off. And it's one of the top trumps, you know, that type of thing, you know, part of the beer bucket list that I have. Because if I usually what happens is if I try a nice beer, excuse me, in the bottle, then if it's available on cask and they sell it on cask, then I'll try and kind of search it out. I'm not trying to be going on a session on it, but if I can pop in and just have an enjoyable kind of pint, which sometimes is actually nice. You know, you're driving down on the road and things like that, You think, well, I'll have a break, and I'll just maybe have a break, pull in and just get myself a nice pint, and maybe whatever the pub's got is, do they do sandwiches, and just have that with a pint and enjoy it, and then just think, well, back on the road. So it's one of the ones I want to look out for in cask and want to try and get. So I know I'll be going down to Devon because I'm in Scotland just now, you know, but I will be going back down to Devon quite soon. So I'll try and have a little look to see which pubs might have this on cask on the way down, and I'll maybe make a point of popping in and getting them. So that's the level that this beer's at that I want to kind of search out. I want to go off my actual route to go and see if I can get one, and that usually is a testament that you know, it's a testament to it being a nice beer. It is nice, it really is. It just got it right. It's still sessionable, but still a decent level of body. And yeah, the flavours are nice. They actually are, and they're a good level, a good intensity. They're not shy in the flavour, and the bitterness at the back end is not shy either. And just overall, it's actually very nice beer. It's right up my street. It's malty, it's bitterness, it's got, you know, that type of thing. It's not overly complex flavours, but what it does have a nice intensity to the flavours, and there's a decent kind of clarity there as well, which again all points towards better quality ingredients. So out of 10, what would I give this? I'm thinking I'd like to give it an 8, but it's that £14 delivery that's annoying me. I mean, really it should lose half a point for that. It should lose half a point because of the £14 delivery, which is just unacceptable. But while that would be doing justification to the brewery and their stupidity for charging that, and it gives them what they deserve, they lose half a point for that, so it's only 7.5. I don't think that's fair on the beer, because it's a nice beer. So I'm going to give this an 8. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. But the caveat is that the £14 delivery cost is just bloody stupid. It really is, and there's no need for it. And I really should be taking half a point off that because of their stupid delivery costs. But it's a nice beer, and it deserves an 8. So why should the beer miss out on an 8? Because whoever's made this decision, whether it's a kind of marketing manager, directors, whatever, brewery manager, whoever basically is making that stupid decision or has come up with that as a good option. So why should the beer miss out on half a point because of somebody or someone or somebody's stupidity? Because that's what it really is. It's just stupidity for basically. I can't understand why they even think that was a smart move. And an acceptable move. But anyway, it's a nice beer. It deserves an 8 out of 10. There's nice flavours, nice intensity. Overall, it's a really nice, enjoyable beer. And it's just a bloody shame that they're charging that for delivery. But yeah, I would recommend it. I could understand thinking, people think, I'm not buying that if it's £14 delivery. I could understand that, because I balked at it, I'll be totally honest, and I was having thinking, oh, we should just cancel this, fucking thieving bastards. But I thought, no, I want to kind of get some more from this brewery and see what it's like. So that's why. And I'm glad I did, because I wanted you to try this beer anyway, and it had been mentioned a few times by some of the viewers in the comments and things like that. So yeah, it's a nice beer. It's 8 out of 10. It's 4.6%, 500ml bottle. Delivery's a bit of a stone in the shoe, frog in the throat, you know, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's just a bitter pill to swallow. But I'd like to get it on cask, and I'll be looking forward to try and get it on cask, and I will pop it up as a week in a post. I'll do a picture of it and say, hey, I've got it, and I'll just say, you know, really good, or not as good as I wanted it or was hoping, and things like that. I'll give a quick, you know, review, but I'll be looking on it to try and get it on cask, because it is a very enjoyable beer, and I still have some to enjoy, which is good. It's not one of these ones where I'm enjoying it thinking, I'm buggered now because I've only got one. This is not a problem, which is good. So anyway, 8 out of 10, 4.6, 500ml bottle. Thanks for watching. Cheers. And bye for now.